Today, some bad news have been announced concerning the President of the Republic of Kenya, that is President William Samoei Ruto. And the updates that I have with me today continue to paint a very unfriendly image of the Ruto regime, and some things which have been exposed are quite concerning and are things which I believe you should know about. Nikubaya. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to your number one channel, Duffy Updates, a place where we bring to you latest political updates. So, a number of things have been revealed today, and you will be shocked to hear what is actually happening on the ground. There are about 4 top stories that we will be covering, each coming from a different newspaper, starting with our bold one, that is the Standard. Then there is the People Daily. I'll take you through the Daily Nation, and finally Taifa Leo. Among these 4 newspapers, they have talked about 4 different stories on their front page, and the stories, for them to make headlines on the front page, they must be definitely worth talking about, because I usually believe that if you just go through the newspaper, the front page, you'll have understood everything that is happening in the Republic of Kenya. So if you would like to know what's currently hot in Kenya, what's currently happening in the Republic of Kenya, matters politics, then this is a video to watch, because by the end we will have understood all the important topics that we need to know about. But first of all, before I take you through the newspapers, I'd like to welcome you to Duffy Updates. This is a channel where we bring to you latest political news, well detailed, well explained, and we make sure that every single topic that we are discussing about, you understand it to the core. If this is your first time watching a video from this channel, feel welcomed, feel home. This is a place to be. Kindly join our YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button. I usually like to say this for the few people who maybe have not have forgotten, because I believe this is a channel to subscribe to, but some people usually forget. So next, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up or a like, and finally click the notification icon on to guarantee yourself that next time when you upload a new video, YouTube will automatically notify you. So thank you to everybody who has done that. May God bless you, and a special thanks to all our returning subscribers, and may God bless you. So I have discussed about 4 big topics that we'll be talking about. The first one involves something that has been talked about for a while, something that was a national disaster, because it was. I'm talking about the case for Albert Ojwang, which highly involved the Deputy Inspector General, that is DIG Elio Lagat, and some news about him were revealed yesterday, and you will be shocked to hear what actually happened. I'll be taking you through that one. The second one involves the President of the Republic of Kenya, and how his presidency can be referred to as a failed presidency. That story has been emphasized in the People Daily. That story involves also the Ruto regime, where UDA bigwigs are plotting exodus. What is exodus? Exodus basically means maybe leaving the camp, or maybe are opposing the camp, or are neglecting the camp. All things are not good news to the camp, which is UDA. That is the Daily Nation. And finally, we are going to talk about the Ruto regime. The government is really trying to make Rigathi Gachagua become unpopular in his region, but they are failing terribly. So out of all the updates that I've mentioned above, you can tell that all of them are bad news to the people involved. So starting with the first one, that is the Standard, the bold newspaper. It's talking about the story for DIG Elio Lagat. I'll be displaying the front pages of the newspaper in your screen so that you can go with me. So today, ladies and gentlemen, is the 23rd of July 2025. Specifically, it's on Wednesday. So the big headline from the Standard reads, "The Big Con." And then there's one picture of a top government official, namely DIG, Deputy Inspector General Eddie Lagat. Then I'd like first of all to read for you what's happening, and then I'll take you through. You might have heard, but let me inform you better. There are some integrity issues. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Elio Lagat, lied to the country about him stepping aside to pave way for investigations into the death of Albert Ojwang at Central Police Station in a June 16th statement. But fresh court filings reveal a different story, that he merely applied for an 18-day annual leave, approved the same day by the Police Inspector General Douglas Kanja, who wished him a restful break. In a sworn reply, Rigo now insists he never vacated office nor appointed a replacement, contradicting his own public statement. The open lie has reignited questions about his integrity, transparency, and trustfulness as a civil servant. More story on page 4. So what's happening is, down there you see there is a white portion, a high white thing that has been attached to the front page. That is a letter which back then was believed to be from the DIG, Elio Lagat. For those who followed the case, the letter was highlighting and informing Kenyans that the DIG had decided to step aside, ile tu kuondoka kidogo, just to let investigations about the case for Albert Ojwang dying in police custody at Central Police Station. He had decided to step aside to pave way for investigations. The letter was directed to the IG, who approved and accepted his proposal to step aside, and another person was chosen to act on behalf of the DIG, as the DIG was stepping aside. But new details already. First of all, by that letter, a lot of Kenyans were already angry because they did not want the DIG to step aside. They wanted him to resign. I hope you remember these conversations. But now a new storm is brewing because details have revealed that the DIG, not only did he not step aside, for the days which he has been away from office, all Kenyans have been thinking and believing that the DIG had actually stepped aside to pave way for investigations. But new details now reveal that the DIG kumbe was on a sabbatical leave. He was ile mapumziko. He was on an 18-day leave, which was approved by the IG, who even wished him a restful leave. So not only did these people involved lie, but they also contradicted their reports, because there are some occasions where the DIG can be heard saying that Bagat has decided to step aside, while he is the one who even wished him a restful leave. So they knew that it was a leave, it was not him stepping aside. So the report from Douglas Kanja, who is the Inspector General, said this: "Following your application for annual leave, I am writing to confirm the approval and granted 18 days leave for the financial year 2024-2025, effective from June 17th, 2025. During your absence, your duties will be performed by your principal assistant. We wish you a restful leave." That was Douglas Kanja. So a lot of Kenyans are now questioning the integrity, the transparency, and the trustfulness of these individuals, because How can they tell the whole country that this person is on a leave, while actually no, they told the whole country that this person had stepped aside, while actually the person was on a leave. I don't know what to think about that particular story, but I'd like to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below, because it's quite a lot of Kenyans are having mixed reactions about it. I'd like to hear what you say about it. So I'll take you to our next newspaper, which is the People Daily, and it highlights why we as Kenyans and most Kenyans consider Ruto's regime as a failed presidency. People are saying this is a wasted opportunity, referring to President William Samoei Ruto, uh, and uh, showing that he wasted his chance to of being a president. You know, to become a president, that is you might be very special for you to become a president. Not everybody gets to become a president. Out of about 50 million Kenyans, huh, only 4 people have managed to become the president of Kenya: Kenyatta, Moi, Kibaki, Uhuru, and now the fifth one, William Ruto. Can you imagine? Out of the 50 million Kenyans who are here, only you were lucky enough to become the president, and then you kinda fumble the opportunity of maybe being re-elected again. Although we don't know if you'll be re-elected, because you never know. You should not count your eggs before they hatch. We never know if he will be re-elected or not. But here are some of the pledges which are believed to be some of the reasons why Ruto's presidency is a failed one. So, according to details, affordable housing project are facing legal and financial handles. Already, that is something which Ruto was very passionate about, but it is facing a lot of challenges that make his presidency being referred to as a failed presidency. Second, Kenyans borrowed billions from Hustler Fund but defaulted. Also, Hustler Fund was something that President William Samoei Ruto was quite passionate about, believing that it was going to be the game changer when it comes to Kenyans receiving funds, maybe to enhance their businesses or enhance their lives. But as soon as most Kenyans borrowed, it is believed billions of shillings Kenyans have defaulted to pay. Wamekataa kurudisha hizi pesa, and also that makes President William Ruto's Hustler Fund program also be referred to as a failed thing, emphasizing more on his failed presidency regime. So the third one, higher education funding in limbo. The things about education in the education system, I even don't have to talk about it, because when you look from even from the whole level, from primary, high school, secondary, then up to university, there are problems. We have seen high school shutting down because they don't have capitation, they don't have food. We have seen university students dropping out of school because the help is no longer working as it used to, as better, as good as it should be. So the third one, cost of living has worsened due to heavy taxation. Mambo ya taxes, I don't have to add anything about it. The fourth thing, the fifth thing, under funded and chaotic implementations of SHA. This is Social Health Assurance Fund. Mambo ya hospitali. A lot of patients nowadays are struggling. They are going through hell just to receive that treatment. It's like you are fighting for your life. Instead of the hospital fighting, trying to make you live, it's like they are the one who are even trying to causing some numbers of people to maybe even pass. You never know, but the SHA, a lot of Kenyans don't believe that it is better than what was there before, which was NHIF. So, Goto promised that he will cut government spending by cash 300 billion, but Ruto's international travel, which includes 51 trips in 1 year, cost 1.3 billion. Can you just imagine? He has gone against his word. The last point is public debt that from shillings 8.63 trillion to over shillings 10 trillion in a year. Can you imagine? That means we have borrowed over 1.3 in 1 year. That's quite a lot of money. So that's bad news for the president, because his government being referred to as a failed presidency is not something you would want in your regime. So the that story comes from Daily Nation, and I'll try to be a bit fast. And it is about a game plan for the 2027 political realignments rock the ruling party. A lot of UDA bigwigs are brought in exodus, and this ends up making showing all the signs that people are now starting to realign themselves in positions which they believe they have a better chance of winning maybe a position come next year, come next general elections, which will be happening in the 2027. Examples of these people, according to a shorter explanation here, already under siege from a rebel faction allied to ousted Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, the walls of the government United Democratic Alliance are set to worsen, with top former loyalists, including the Senate Majority Whip, joining the rebellion. The man tasked with whipping members to toe the line has declared the party dead. So some of the people who are believed to be bigwigs of UDA but are already planning exodus to maybe even dump the camp include Boni Kalwale, who is Senator Majority Whip. There's Gloria Uroba, who was ousted as Senator. There's Mohammed Ali, who is the Member of Parliament for Nyari. There is Josh Nyamoko, who is the North Mogirango Member of Parliament. There is Jane Kihara, Member of Parliament for Naivasha. And finally, Ndende Nyoro, who is Kiharu Member of Parliament. The names mentioned above are of top influential politicians who are believed to be planning to exit the Kenya Kwanza camp and to realign with themselves with parties which they believe have more chances of making them win the 2027 presidential bid 2027 elections. It doesn't matter which positions they are going to fight for, but it's not not the presidency, I believe. On the last newspaper, which is the Taifa Leo, it talks about Rigathi Gachagua being, yani wanajaribu kumwekea mitego sana. Ukitazama ile headline, Gachagua awekewa mitego. Njama ya kufifisha ushawishi wa Rigathi anayejitahidi kuhakikisha Ruto anahudumu muhula mmoja yafichuka. It has been exposed. Serikali imebuni mikakati thabiti ya kumzima Gachagua, kama vile kutumia wafuasi wake kumtatiza mlimani, kutumia baadhi ya wafuasi wa Jubilee kummaliza nguvu, makanisa kubagua wanasiasa wa upinzani, na mahakama kuwatatiza wandani wa naibu huyo wa rais wa zamani. This include like the way we have seen Rigathi Gachagua's allies wanakuwa arrested every now and then, wanaekewa charges, mikutano yao inaharibiwa na mambo kama hayo. Kati ya maneno ambayo yalizungumzwa na Rigathi Gachagua ni kwamba mtu mmoja anaandamwa na zaidi ya vikundi 10. Mtu yule waliyetimua ofisini Oktoba mwaka jana amekataa kuzama kama walivyotamani, na sasa wanahangaika kumvunja kisiasa. Hayo ni maneno ya Rigathi Gachagua akielezea kwamba serikali ya Ruto inakosa amani kwake. Well, hayo tu ndo ambayo yameweza kuguziwa katika gazeti za siku ya leo. Like to hear your thoughts on what we have spoken about. Kindly before you leave, make sure to join us, and you can join us by clicking the subscribe button, like this video, and finally click the notification icon on. Bye bye.